I've done very few projects in my life. I've never really chased money, the finances or the extra perks you get. I could be having the worst day of my life, but if I have to smile and bring a smile, knowing that my audience needs to crack up here and, feel the joy, I have to ensure I'm bringing that joy with me.
There's nothing that can ever tell you which story
Absolutely.
an audience will like. That is pure gut.
I'm getting to make my directorial debut with YRF and Netflix.
You have to sustain every year. You have to come up with a project because the kind of pressure that you have. But we haven't seen you in like this time frame, and you're coming after this long or whatever.
This is Nawaz Kochra joining you on screen, and I am here in conversation with the very amazing team of Mandala Murders. Hello, how are y'all?
Good.
After the trailer, how are y'all, with the response that's coming in?
The response has been amazing. I think people are loving the fact that it is a thriller plus. So many other things to also take in apart from it just being a thriller. So we are very excited by the reactions.
Vaani, what about you?
No, I'm also so I was asking my friends, and most of my friends have they've just called me back saying, we are still watching it. Like, we watched it yesterday and I'm again logging in and watching it again because it's that thrilling and exciting and new. It's different.
Yeah.
And that's what we crave, no? As audience, we want something, kuch naya mil jaye, kuch alag ho jaye. So I feel like that there's intrigue and excitement, and I'm just grateful that, touch wood, it's been good response.
Manan, what about you? What do you think?
Very overwhelming, and I think the excitement that it has built in the viewers is rubbing off on us, because seeing people so excited about it and getting so intrigued by the trailer, it's really making us very happy.
So, Tanya, what Vaani just mentioned, that kuch audience is also looking at kuch naya mil jaye hamesha. When stories come to you also, do you also look at it with that lens ki kuch naya aa jaye?
Oh, 100%. Actually, some of my favorite comments at a personal level under most of our, trailers and things, Netflix kuch alag laya hai.
Yes.
I live for those comments. So, whether it's actually, we're fortunate and blessed actually that we receive this kind of adulation fairly frequently. So, God's been kind, the audience has been kind. But I think I feel that audiences tend to find their favorite shows on Netflix and they resonate with the stories that we are telling because we keep innovating.
Right.
Every show this year has been great. We've had some really big swings this year, some very, a mix of actually commercial and very high concept. So I would say, where there is a great Indian couple show, there is Rana Naidu, Khaki.
Yes.
These are the big commercial sweeps. But there's also been a Black Warrant and a really bold story in Dabba Cartel, and now a really differentiated murder mystery in this one. So it's been a mixed, and then, we've also really taken very different swings in non-fiction this year with the greatest rivalry, India versus Pakistan,
Yes.
that documentary series. We have the Veer Das special coming up. We've had, the Great Indian Couple Show, of course. So it's been a very diverse mix this
Absolutely.
year. And happy to say that it's been a banger of a year so far. So really excited about this one.
Absolutely. And Vaani, so from what I've seen, you've always been very experimental with your roles, whether it was Chandigarh Kade Ashiki or even the Raid 2 for that matter, and now this one. We see you in this cop avatar. What was the challenge?
I love challenges and I love exploring a completely new, world, because even I get bored. Like, how audiences can get bored looking at somebody doing the same job in every project of theirs. I also get bored ki I've just done this. Now I don't want to repeat the same thing in the next. Like, I'm always hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, I hope to God, like, I get something where I can experiment and push my boundaries and my limits and see, can I possibly do this as well?
Right.
So I live for that as well. Like, I really do. And the fact that, if I can manage to connect with the audiences in different, genres and avatars and the way, I'm home. That's all. Because I've never really picked up projects I've done very few projects in my life.
Right.
I've never really chased money, the finances or the extra perks you get of starring in projects. But I swear, for me, I feel satiated if somebody can comment and be like, hey, we liked you in this and we loved the fact that you could also pull that off and with proper conviction.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for the opportunities.
Absolutely. And you know, like I said, so when I was watching the trailer, I saw it first and I was like, 1 second. I think I have missed watching something. There must be some answer to, you know, this entire trailer. I rewatched it once again and I was like, wow, this is something very different that's coming in the thriller space. But you know, today as storytellers, especially Manan and Gopi sir, for you, what's happening is the audience space is become very volatile. You don't know what is going to work with the audience. In a situation like that, how do you get that conviction that, you know, let us go ahead with, you know, bringing this to the audience and see how they take it? Is, you know, you just go by gut, or there is a research and analysis also based, you know, before you bring a story like this to the audience? Because I'm sure there are layers to it.
See, when you approach it from the artistic perspective, you want to go with your instinct.
Right.
Although research and all might help once you're done with it, but in the beginning, you just want to go where your instinct is taking you. And in this particular case, for me personally, I wanted to tell a story that gives a sense of wonder to the audience. Because very few times you get to see stories which brings out the child within you.
Right.
You know, it's the stories that begin with, once upon a time, there was this land. These were the rules of this land. And this was how, you know, these people dealt with the conflicts of it. So Mandala Murders is where we have managed to create that kind of a multi-layered world where you just enter it and, you know, forget everything else. So we just went with the instinct and we've created this. Hopefully the audience also likes what.
But there's nothing that can ever tell you which story,
Absolutely.
you know, an audience
Right.
will like. That is pure gut. That is, you know, whether it is
Yeah.
from a creative lens or from the lens of a platform. There's nothing I can ever sort of say, let's commission this because this will be a hit or this will not be a hit.
Just on the basis of
Absolutely.
research.
Yeah,
That's
it
very true,
is really
actually.
about following a creative conviction. It is really about delivering a vision which is distinctive but delivering it thoroughly. And that's when it resonates.
Very true. Also, you know, as the tagline says, मोल चुकाना पड़ेगा. Every boon comes with a price. ऐसा जिंदगी में कभी हुआ है कि, you know, एक वरदान आपको मिला हो पर उसकी कीमत भी चुकानी पड़ी हो?
What is free in life? Nothing.
Tell us one story about this boon that, you know, y'all have had and uska price चुकाना पड़ा. We'll start with you, Manan, this time.
I
Your
think
goal.
I mentioned it earlier. मेरा तो वरदान यही है कि I am getting to make my directorial debut with
Yes.
YRF and Netflix. I couldn't have asked for something more than that. And the mole that has been paid is like I've worked as an assistant director for more than 12 years. I've
Yes.
started right at the bottom and I've worked my way up. But that also gave me an opportunity to collaborate with a lot of filmmakers, learn from them. I've not been to film school, so those filmmakers, and then working at YRF. YRF is the biggest film school in Bombay, I think, where ADs really learn from technical know-how to storytelling, everything about filmmaking. And so that has been my mole, 12 years of my life of working as an assistant director, and my Vardhan will be out on 25th June.
Lovely.
Netflix.
How nice.
Vani, for you, I'll change the question a little bit.
Oh,
So, you know,
make it spicy.
if being, you know, if being an actor is a boon,
Yes.
what is the price that, you know, you have to pay for it?
There's a lot, huh? We have sleepless nights. There's a lot of hard work goes into it. Yeah. And also, you know what, it can emotionally and mentally take a toll because you're constantly changing your the skin of the character that you are getting into. So every time you're compelling yourself to psychologically think differently, mentally and emotionally be ready when somebody says, okay, take. I could be having the worst day of my life, but if I have to smile and bring a smile, you know, knowing that my audience needs to crack up here and, you know, feel the joy, I have to ensure I'm bringing that joy with me.
Yes,
And your eyes will give away, you know, your body language will give away. So you have to constantly check yourself mentally, emotionally, personally, and it doesn't matter what you're feeling offset, on set when you're there doing the task, the job, you have to be 1000% there. You know,
Right.
otherwise you'll mess it up, and there are a gazillion other people who are,
Going to
there
spot it.
yeah. But also I feel like a lot of personal milestones, a lot of family occasions, birthdays, you tend to
Yes.
miss, and then they really hate. Like I get a lot of hate from my friends saying,
After a point, they start
now
contacting you.
yeah.
That
They're like,
actually
we have
happens.
given up on you. But I swear, even on my own birthday, if someone's like, let's go somewhere, and I'm like, I don't know if the next day I'm working, and they're like, shut up, like just be available. But everything's worth it because I do love my job. I feel it's worth it.
Absolutely.
It's a sweet sacrifice. It's a sweet pain.
Totally. Tanya, bringing the best of content, picking the best of stories, उसका क्या मोल चुकाना पड़ता है?
Actually, मोल तो दो तरफा होता है इसमें.
Yes.
One is if I look at it, like if the expectation with every title increases, and so if there is a slip, as it, we are not perfect, nobody is perfect.
Right.
We do have our hits and we'll have our misses. तो जब misses होती हैं तो वो मोल बहुत भारी पड़ता है. Comments में no one's kind.
Yes.
So that is, that actually works for me in a very challenging way. To avoid that, I drive myself, and I think my team, they will, concur. We really keep the rigor really high.
Absolutely.
So that title on title, we are able to push the bar.
Right.
But then there is the personal mole, being a working mom and a working woman is, there's a whole personal battle that you go through in your head. कि
Totally.
कहाँ मोल नहीं चुकाएं या कहाँ दो तरफा मोल चुकाना पड़ता है. So if you do well at work, then at home you're like, mom, you're never there. And if you're there, then over here you're like, वो हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. So then you're constantly in a flux.
But I want to add one more thing. Your
Yes.
failures are public, and everybody has an opinion about it.
Yes.
Everybody
is
has
very
a
true.
That's a
judgment.
very big mole.
That's the biggest mole.
And I think people also tend to get very harsh when it comes to that, especially today, in this day and age of social media.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you, it comes to your self-worth, sometimes, and you start questioning things that you shouldn't in the first place because
Right.
somebody sitting in the comfort of their spaces just decided to be mean. So,
But I will say that all of it is also a very big vardhan. I think all of us have worked really hard for everything that
Yeah.
everyone sort of done. So it is a very, very positive sort of space to bring a title to the audience, to be in it for Vaani
Yeah.
and the team. So it's the mole and vardhan is the balance of life.
Absolutely. So you've also been a writer, and now when you bring this story, ये direction के लिए क्या मोल चुकाना पड़ा आपको?
4 साल.
4 साल. I knew you were going to say that.
oh, dreadful years.
4 साल relentlessly मज़े से, but ये 4 साल का labor of love है, जहाँ पे आपने 2 साल लिखने में डाले, 1 साल प्रोडक्शन में डाले, 1 साल पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन में डाला, और अभी आपके सामने आएगा 9 दिनों बाद.
Absolutely. But what's the future with the franchise? Is there going to be a season 2 also? Has it already, the work on it has begun? What's the situation there?
We teased it towards the end of the season.
Okay.
As we said, Mandala is its own beautiful, complex little world, and the story has a lot of legs to go into the subsequent seasons. It's for the audience to lap it up and give us their love and support so that we can bring the subsequent season also very soon.
Absolutely. And today being in this creative profession, if each one of you all have to tell me one challenge that you all fight on a daily basis, what is that?
Predictability.
Okay.
I think जो आजकल audience they are like battling with is the familiarity or the over familiarity of a story. So I think it's both a blessing and a challenge that we are able to pick up this kind of a challenge from the audience where they are wanting to know fresher and newer stories that excite them, whether it's on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, they want something new,
Right.
as opposed to a formulaic sort of telling. So I think that is a great challenge for a creative community to take up and really innovate on our styles, to find newer stories, to find fresher perspectives. So it's a great time to actually have the audience speak to you so openly about what they want. And it's then our responsibility to actually receive that and then really deliver the most exciting stories to them that they can consume and be happy by.
Absolutely. For you all, what's the challenge?
For me, I think as an artist, one of the things that we battle with is that there is so much overabundance of stories
Absolutely.
that relevant or more artistic or voice gets lost in this sea of 30-seconders, 1-minuters, reels, and then so many things. So that is one of the biggest challenges for any artist now.
Right. What about you, Vaani?
Trying to think of a challenge. There are challenges, but then you just you take it on your chin and you say, yeah, I'll overcome this because for the greater good and for the greater purpose and for something that I truly want.
Right.
But see, sometimes I feel like I feel like there are very few stories that personally you might just connect to very few.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for you to, because you have to sustain every year, you have to come up with a project because the kind of pressure that you have, but we haven't seen you in like this time frame and you're coming
Yeah.
after this long or whatever. You don't want to sign up something just for the heck of it. Like I really try to preserve myself, do the best, hoping that, hey, I hope this labor of love gets the right platform, it gets the right audience to be able to first create that project and then to find the right platform or to find the right audience for it. I think you're always living somewhere you have, and I have a lot of self-inflicted pressure. Forget the social media and forget others. There's a lot of self-inflicted pressure that I take and I build up at times. But okay, you take it as you enjoy the
sometimes.
perks, but then you also have the
You have
Right.
to strict on yourself sometimes.
I am
Always,
Everybody
always.
says
Yeah.
that. They're like, calm
You
down.
need to,
I don't know how to be that other way. We'll try.
Manan, what about you?
I think pushing the boundary as a storyteller, because now your audience has access to content from and stories from world over.
Yes.
We're watching Money Heist from Spain, we're watching Adolescence and One Day from England. Pehle there were only cinephiles who would access world cinema and content from
Right.
different countries, but like Korea is doing so well. So that is opening up avenues for us, and that's also a challenge because now you're competing at a global stage.
Yes, absolutely. Well, on that note, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I am looking forward to the show, but I'm also hoping to get a season 2 very soon.
How
Of
sweet.
it, please don't keep a 2-year gap for it. Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.